Hi Rennie.
Hello Jake, how are you?
I'm good. Well, obviously we launched that video last week and it got pretty good response.
Yeah.
People seem to be quite into a bit of behind the scenes information.
I think people are mostly into your tush.
Maybe we can put
Here we go.
tush in here.
Nice,
There we
good.
go. So yeah, I thought we would have a discussion about missile cars.
Oh yeah, and the lack of them at Driftland.
Yes, and why we came to that decision.
Yeah, the sort of evolution of what Driftland was becoming at the time, I think,
Yeah.
with missile cars.
Yeah, the economy around it at the time,
Yeah.
and all the various facts, all the various reasons which created the missile era.
Yeah,
Shall we
'cause
call it?
let's remember that we started off in like 2012 with Jumanji Nights,
Exactly.
when you were just using the oval and you basically could get away with the cheapest rear wheel drive car.
Anything basically.
And the rules were that you had to have at least one hand.
Yeah, one hand, a seatbelt, and
Seatbelt.
something that sort of looked like a helmet.
Yeah, some sort of thing.
Yeah, and you had to turn up dirty in the morning. And then, other than that, the stock car guys really just did not care what we
Yeah.
did. We basically could do whatever we liked.
Yeah.
And we did. So, but anyway, we were digressing a touch
Yeah.
onto back onto the Jumanji days. However,
That was missiles to start with.
that was drifting in Scotland.
Yeah, and that was the norm. That was it.
That was it.
basically.
We were writing off 25 E36s every time we had an event. We were just, you just didn't care. We were
No.
actively turning down 323s because they weren't 325s or 328s. For £100, and these days people would bite your hand off for
like £1,000 for
£1,000 328. So we're going to watch a couple of the bash videos, reminisce,
Go on.
remind ourselves what went on, and then, as we said, we're going to explain why we made the decision to ban missiles.
Yeah, from our regular drift days. So this is so the bash was all in itself this one type of event with missiles in it, and that was different from every other drift day, and we're about to see why.
Yeah, they were amazing. So we will start the video right now.
So this is the first year for the bash.
This was the first year, so we were lucky enough to get contacted by Ryan Turk and his guys earlier on before this bash, and we then came to an agreement that the guys would come back, and we have got a video here from one of our good friends, Mies Media, who made some lovely videos for us back in the day. He's actually back local again, so hopefully we'll get to see
lad.
some of his lovely stuff. So we get his logo there.
I'd be pleased just to see his logo.
Fades to black. Everyone knows all important movies start with a black screen. So you can see fairly high number of cars on track. It was raining a little bit that weekend. I think we just got a little shower though, didn't we? It wasn't. So there's all the various drivers, lots of names that are still here, lots of names that are arseholes and don't come anymore. You can see the pits there was absolutely rammed.
Yeah, so we had about
what? Window stickers was the fashion that time.
We must have had about 90 drivers.
90 odd we had there. Stewie Bryant came all the way from Australia. There's Ryan Turk.
Stewie slept in that car for the entire duration of his visit.
Yeah, there's Phil Morrison of Driftworks and Slambos and Fancy Porsches. That's your one, is it not?
Yeah, that was my one.
Yeah.
That was my one, and that was Miller's 325.
Mill Bucket, mind Tim. That was
Neil's with Tools plate, with Tool Design number plate on it.
That was Ryan Pothecary, the BDC judge.
Jack Symes, I
Bakery
think,
squad
had that
guys,
one.
That thing didn't go very well. Danny Grundy, another BDC Pro driver.
Yeah, he was good in that.
He's done loads of the Arena Essex things as slide guys.
That's basically what Matt Stevenson's doing at the moment,
Yeah.
changing an engine in his BM.
There's the border guys before they became self-entitled little pricks. They actually did an engine swap in like 45 minutes that morning for Phil. That was Von getting Junior's RTR Mustang that they brought up. Big Bad Marson.
Yep. That thing's been through several owners now.
Crazy Supra.
Is that Barry's K70?
Yeah. Ex-Hux car.
Before he ruined it by putting a V8 in it. Tad's
mine Tad.
F20 S2000 engine powered 86, that thing.
And he just
cool.
rocked up at the bash in that thing and joined in. He was doing the wall run competition, remember? The guy was
he did
off
the
his
quartering
tits.
in that.
He was off his nut, that guy. So we get to start to see some absolute chaos. You see Stewie there smashing his window. And these days, as we said, we could pick up these cars for 100, 200 quid. you know, 150 quid coilovers off eBay, a bucket seat, and you were good to go.
Yeah, the whole thing good to go. 500 quid tops, absolute tops.
You know, you could get a nice car, and you could almost justify writing it off over the period of 2 days. We got some Mados here, like somebody in their S14 there.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that?
I don't remember.
No.
I don't know. I would not be taking my S14 out in the middle of this train because it looks busy.
Yeah, I'm the same. We'll see.
We had some sort of demos throughout the day.
Yeah, with BBC demos, and then we had Ryan Kirk driving this Mustang, which he did crash, as you would expect, since it's Ryan Kirk. There's Tad, who later on just joined in all the trains and went bananas. Marston's
showing us how to do it properly.
Big fat Supra. So what happens is we basically invited as many drivers as we could along. The concept of the weekend was to drive as closely and as crazily with each other as you possibly could in as big trains as possible, play some crazy games, and basically just destroy the cars in the fun of drifting.
Yeah, make them last the 2 days and not a second more.
Yeah, 2 days absolute maximum. We played stupid games. We had huge wall run competitions.
Drift limbo in between other cars, uses the parking.
Yeah, super extreme parking. We did paintball guns one year, and we were shooting the drivers while they were going round. We were throwing water balloons at the drivers. You get to start to see the carnage here. That was one of the wall run competition sessions, so we were just sending groups of 5, 6, 7s, 10s, and getting them all to try run the wall. You can see the state of the track there, gravel absolutely everywhere, bits of car all over the chippy. Oh, that was when I wrote off my 328 Sport.
Yeah, quite a nice 328.
Yeah, I had a really nice 328 Sport that I had, and I got caught in the triangle drift. And you can see as the day goes on, the weekend goes on, the cars start to look less and less and less like cars.
I think it's Matt Carter in the yellow Supra.
The Supra, yeah, that was a Garage D supplied car. That was Paul Smokey Smith there in the white E36. That's Turk. Big Gordo. There's me. Oh,
what's Kyle looking quite big there?
Me, yeah. Medium-sized Kyle and Anjit, and then I think this is just a little slow motion crashy video to end. So we did that event. It was very well received. Yeah, we had an absolutely great time.
That was at the time Driftland's biggest ever event
by miles. By miles. We were rammed. We had VIP tickets, remember that time where you got to go in the VIP lounge and drink as much Monster Energy as you could, handle.
Autograph sessions, because we had a lot of really well-known drivers there.
Yeah, absolutely. We did taxis as well, and
oh no, that was the year after.
Was that?
Yeah, it was 2015.
Was it? Was it this year or the year after that Stewie smashed the window in the briefing rooms area? Was that the first year?
That was the year after.
That was the second year.
Yeah.
So that basically that event went really well. We didn't hurt anybody. Nobody got injured. We destroyed every single car that was there.
Yep.
Everyone had a great time. We got some great footage. We got some really good exposure from Ryan and his guys in America.
And they were bowled over by Driftland as well. They thought the track was amazing, even though those guys are drifting around all the Formula D tracks on a pretty much weekly basis. But they were like, oh my god, this is incredible. We have nothing like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was good to get that feedback. So we hadn't had like an expert feedback at that time, or like a pro driver come and say, you guys have nailed it, you're on the money.
Yeah, we've got it, because he's driven in all over the world as well, so he's had lots and lots of experience. So first one was a success. Great, let's do it again.
Obviously,
let's immediately plan again. So I think pretty much the day after we dropped the date for the second one, and then I went about contacting every big name driver I could possibly get contact with. So we invited Stewie back.
Yes, he came back
He
again.
Immediately agreed to come back again, obviously, because he had the absolute time of his life living like a drift pikey.
And Chizvan prepared about 17 cars for it, if I remember.
we
buying all the 36s up.
We prepared a lot of cars. We had a deal with You Pull It, so they gave us a bunch of cars as well, remember? And they also gave us a huge stack of alloys to use on all of the cars. So I was speaking to Chelsea Denova, Frederick Asbo, James Dean. Funny story actually, I tried to book James Dean for the very first bash.
Okay.
I told him I would give him a car, fuel, wheels, tyres, and just to come and drive for the weekend. And he, quite rightfully to be fair, he asked if I would pay for a hotel.
Yeah, because he's making that trip over from where he was at the time, so that's expensive to say the least.
Yeah, and I had pretty much already spent all of the budget on Ryan Turk.
Totally.
And I said no.
Yeah, so 2 nights in a Travelodge, and you were not willing to pay it.
It wasn't fully me at that time.
Yeah, it was just like there was nothing left.
There was no budget left, and I had to say, I said no, and it was an error. But James was an amazing driver, obviously, but he wasn't the household drifting name that he has become.
It wasn't the same profile
today. No. So yeah, we sort of turned down James Dean for the first bash. But anyway, I got positive responses from Stewie. Obviously, he was coming. Chelsea Denofa also was keen to come along, and Sean from SLR. Lock Kits, he's a sponsor of Chelsea Denofa, so he helped him out in order to get him across here. And then I also had very possible maybes from Asbo and James Dean.
Yeah, as good as you get, maybe.
Yeah, as good as you get, maybes. We'll get back to you as soon as we find out the answer.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you and we'll let you know. And I then continued to chase them constantly to the point that they're probably have me blocked on Facebook now, and eventually due to various commitments that these guys have obviously got, they didn't make it. But obviously with Chelsea Denofa, I was a big hero. He was a big hero of mine back in the day, in the early days watching FD. He was in an E36. His style is getting rowdy.
Loads of angle, SLR kit guy as well. It was cool. The car was beautiful.
Yeah, it was what we aspired to.
Yeah, Chelsea was a super sound guy as well. Really nice.
Yeah, we had a fun few days. So yeah, we came along. We got those guys along, and then we had the 2015 bash.
Okay.
Which I'll show you just now. So we also had Bon. Frederick Sorley, who came from Norway. So I think this is some on-board footage with Frederick and Bon and etc. So this was a car prepared by the guys at MG Autotech, that little compact, which is now Rika's car. Is that one?
This one's
an E36. Yeah, it was just painted the same colours.
This one's quick BMW parts. Colin Dixon and Co. Sort of supplied the car, and then MG Autotech did the work to it.
Yeah, got new cooling systems and stuff. So we were preparing these cars with help of some of the local guys in order to get make cars available for these international drivers. Obviously, the more of these cars and international drivers that we brought over, the more our costs went up. So the cost of these cars had already tripled due to Driftland being in existence, and we were still treating them like they were disposable assets at this point, as you can see there. As that's a genuine 546 speed manual that's in that E34. So if you could imagine getting one of them today and then crashing it into stuff like this, you would be silly, because they're worth silly money these days. The same with E36s.
6-speed 540 is what, $4,000 these days for a
easy.
Rover one?
It's got to be. Microphone fell off again, sorry guys. Yeah, so you're not going to be writing off 1,500 quid cars just for bants.
No, not at all.
So on this one we probably had about 65 drivers, so 2/3 of what we had the previous year. It was this year that we broke our most cars on track.
Yep,
record.
42 on the Sunday morning.
Yeah, first thing, Sunday morning, all of our neighbours got to hear 42 ropey 6-pot BMs, as you can see the state of that one.
Missing most of their exhausts.
I think that was Chelsea there in that blue one with the bonnet off. So yeah, our local neighbours got to hear all of these cars with it. You could see the massive angle that Frederick's just chucked on there.
I thought that was a spin.
Yeah, totally managed to hold it. Yeah, so these cars were becoming scarcer, they were becoming way more expensive to get hold of. And you can see just Drew Abbey way offline.
Oh,
stand up, Drew Abbey.
Oh, that's average drift day for
that's
Drew.
That's just a normal day. You can see the wall runs there from those guys, and just like, what is he doing? He's going to undertake 2 cars.
You would never make that dive normally unless you're Nicky Morrison or an SDC.
Yeah, you definitely would never treat your regular drift car in this fashion, and and that's, you know, we were wrecking everything basically. Look at all the bumpers and side skirts, and just the track is littered with the broken soles. But you can see again the crowd there in the VIP parking. It's not particularly busy. And as I said, oh, that was a big one.
Oh,
that was a big. That is the reason that we did not allow passengers to participate in the Driftland Bash, because self-preservation says that you are going to try and get the passenger side to have the crash if you have the option. And yeah, those are the sort of crashes that we were getting. So yeah, you can see the crowd is nowhere near what it was the first year, and we'd spent considerably more
alright, Bond, take that.
Considerably more getting these cars prepared, lots more cars to get prepared as well. We'd spent a lot more money on getting these guys to be here, and yeah, it was a great event again.
Yeah, if you were there for that weekend, I imagine that was amazing. And that's the year we did drift taxis as well in the middle.
Yeah.
So that was entertaining.
So yeah, that one was not a particularly good business.
Yeah, nothing compared to the year before.
Yeah, not overly successful. So, however, the feedback on the internet was that it was great, and I would go, and my auntie would go, my goat would even get a car.
Yeah, my unborn babies, he's actually bought himself like E46, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, everyone and their dog and their friend's dog all want to come next year.
Yeah, so we took that as people want to come to that style of event.
There is demand, let's do it again.
Let's do it again. So again, I got in touch with all the various big name drivers. We got a big bunch of, huge bag full of maybes back. And I looked through all the maybes, and none of them became.
I just need to... Right, here's the excuse.
Yeah, again, you know, the guys that are committed to these bigger teams and other championships can't just be dropping their stuff to go and come hang out with us in a field in Fife. So fair enough. We ended up funding a trip over for Luke Fink.
Yes.
He had been here previously
for a tuition day.
Yeah, advanced tuition day. He was a good laugh.
Yeah.
His driving style
fits right in with the sort of ethos of the bash. It's all about driving as close as possible while still maintaining control of your car and without causing a massive accident or crash around you.
In those times, Luke was driving the Low Brain Drifter car in IDC, and I say driving, I really mean crashing.
Yeah.
He basically
it was so aggressive though. It was amazing to see.
Brilliant to watch.
Yeah.
Death or glory on every run. The main problem for him was that most of them ended up in death of the car or various parts of that car. I don't know of any other drift cars that have had so many visits into the wall, Montello.
Oh God.
But yeah, so Luke he was hot property at that point.
Yeah.
He was big name both in the UK and Ireland. You know, every time he was coming over to compete in Ireland, he was on Facebook, he was in all the groups, he was winding up everybody, you know, becoming a proper WWF style bad villain guy.
Not a man to mess his words, let's just say.
So we're like, great, that's exactly the sort of driver that people want to crash in, to get close. Who doesn't want to door Luke Fink?
And he really wanted to come. He wasn't just like doing it because he was getting paid or a business type venture. He actually wanted to come out, hang out with us guys and drive with us, and he was just as excited.
Yeah, we did that question and answer session with him where he got up at like 4:30 in the morning. He literally looked like he'd been dragged out of bed backwards, and he begrudgingly answered a big bunch of questions because he really just wanted to go back to his bed in upside down land. But
still happy to do it for us.
Yeah, he did it. He called us all a bunch of palmy bastards, and we seen a 0 spike in driver sign-ups, which was really disappointing. So we went into bash number 3, which we'll put a little video on just now, with less than 40 drivers. Yeah,
and 90 we knew was good. It was going to do the job that we wanted.
We needed 90, so we tried anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a choice. We were fully committed to the event, so we went with the bash and we promoted it the best that we possibly could. We had guys come over from, were they Germany or Holland, those guys? Can't remember which one, but they came from Europe.
They were a ferry away.
Yeah, they had a great time. Everybody had a great time that was there, but it just doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work with such low numbers is, you know, on the first bash we had 90 cars
So there's always stuff on track. So out of those 90, but how many are available on track just for any one time?
Yeah, not very many. You know, you're going to get 10 that turn up with their car broken. Like they're going to come, they're going to take their car off the trailer, and they're immediately going to have to do some work.
Yeah, need parts immediately.
Yeah. So you're down to 80 already. You're going to lose 15 or 20 to catastrophic crashes and or failures.
Yep.
You know, you get engine failures. You don't really care about these cars, so it might overheat a little bit, and you might just be like, you know what, I'm going to go for one lap anyway, just because I'm having fun in this train. So by the time you got to Sunday afternoon, you would end up with.
We were lucky if we cobbled. Yeah, that was the amount of available cars was 20, and if you were cobbling together like 10 on track at any point throughout the day, we were doing well.
Yeah, it didn't give the display that you want. People don't come to watch empty tracks.
No.
I know, you know, a lot of sort of race track driving that you go to watch, then you're sort of used to there being gaps in the action, but at Driftland we try our absolute damnedest
and
to have
people expect it now is the thing. So they expect pretty much constant action on track throughout the day.
Nobody wants dead track time. So we got to the end of this bash, you know, people were already saying, what are you doing? Why are you writing off £1,500 cars for one weekend of fun?
And a lot of people who'd said, yeah, I'm coming, were actually, when it came to it, like, no, I'm not spending £1,500 on a car, on my entry, and my fuel and my tyres for the weekend. No, I'm not doing it.
So between that, the economics of these cars, and the fact that we just didn't get the commitment from the drivers that we thought we would, because I mean the action's still good. Look at that.
Yeah.
The 5 up just smashing Gordo out of the way there. Enjoyed that too, that Gordo. You can see paintball marks all over that car. We had Barry Stevenson out with a paintball gun, which we won't do again because we might have had a slight deflection which might have hit somebody in the crowd.
No, let's not do that again.
Yeah, we won't do that again. But listen, there, it was fun at the time.
Even like you can't have E34 BBS on the front of your car now, like all these guys have got, because they're too damn expensive.
They're what 150 quid a pair or something these days. So, and it's because we smashed them all off all the curbs and all the walls in the old Jumanji days. But so you can see the track action was still good. The crowd was all right because they knew what to expect by this point. But the bash, you know, look at this action chaos there. The bash was something that we had planned to continue to build upon. You know, I've always said since the beginning of Driftland that if we could create 10% of Gatville in Scotland, then we would have an amazing event. And I think bash number 1 in 2014 got to about 0.8% of a Gatville event. So we were on the right path. However, bash 2 was about 0.6 and then bash 3 was about 0.2.
Yeah.
And
when things are in a decline like that, you can't help but you can't ignore it. You have to go like, this isn't sustainable anymore.
Yeah, we had to make that decision, and at the similar time, Driftland was becoming and getting a reputation for being the place that old BMWs come to die. You know, people were coming in their car, so in their drift car.
Yeah, which they called their missile.
But anyone who's familiar with car drifting knows that you can only have a missile if you have a nice regular drift car.
Because one warrants the other. Like it's not a missile if it's your only car. It's just your car's not. You know, you're not caring for your car.
Yeah, you're not taking care of it.
Yeah.
So people were turning up with worse and worse and worse cars. We were getting to the point where, you know, it was bumpers and everything lying everywhere.
Yeah.
And
they always broke down, which meant the track was always stopped. It was always red flag to recover people who broke down.
Smashed their battery out, or
they were loud as well because people ripped their exhausts off or didn't fix leaks at the manifold, so they sounded really antisocial. It was horrible.
Yeah, having to sit and listen to 6-cylinder BMs.
It's bad enough.
With standard exhausts, but when they've come off at the downpipe, it's horrific.
Yeah.
Our neighbours don't like it. We don't like it. So we had loud, ugly cars that nobody really wanted to watch, and because of that, the nice cars, the you know, the nice BMWs.
Yeah, the ones that people want to see, the Chasers, the JZXs, all your R32s, your S bodies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Those
all the
guys,
stuff. They just gave us a wide berth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going down there.
Totally don't blame them either.
No, some guy in a 200 quid BM with a boot that won't shut because he's crashed into the wall at 1 mile an hour on the handbrake is going to come through my door.
You mean he's done a sick wall run,
brah? Wall run for Facebook. It's the anti-clockwise layout, and they go really slow, and they go, wall run. No, that's not a wall run. That was just bumping into the wall a little bit on the exit of a corner. But anyway,
you digressed again.
That's
Shock.
a digression.
No, the guys in the nice cars that people want to see, that want to come and drive in a nice and aggressive manner, want to come and push the limits, want to make use of Driftland for what it is, as the only dedicated drift track, the first purpose-built drift track for driving in that Japanese style and doing what you need to do and what. Yeah, it wasn't it.
We'd got a bad reputation. All of our numbers were in decline, so our driver entries were in decline, our spectator entries were in decline. And if you have a business in which you can see a trend which is nothing but decline and you don't do something about it, then you're not going to have a business for very long. So what we had to do was make some new rules up, and we didn't take these new rules lightly. I hate having to put rules in place because it's us that has to enforce them, and we instantly become the bad guys, the same way as a lot of people, you know, really dislike the police because they've maybe had one little negative run-in where they've been got told off, and then they're like,
or
you guys,
just because it doesn't really suit them,
or it doesn't suit them. And this is not, I didn't come here to have fights with people.
But the rules that we've put in place at Driftland, they are not outrageous. They are all just about just the absolute minimum in our opinions, and I think it's been widely accepted for you to drive in a manner and which means you take care of your car and have a car which is of satisfactory condition to be used on track. And it's really simple stuff.
Yeah, it's bumpers,
lights,
bumper panels, lights,
glass,
and no like spraying swear words up the side of your car with a tin of spray paint like we'd seen quite a lot during the bash days.
Just looking like a car.
Just look like a car. It's you see that car you've got, if you could make it look like a car, that'd be great. So we're not asking for, we're not asking you to make it look like a pair of knickers or something.
But pretty reasonable, you'd say. However, it wasn't good for you, was it?
I had to turn my Facebook off because shortly after we made these announcements, so I got absolutely hung, drawn and quartered by the locals who thought I was deliberately trying to ruin drifting for them, where really if we didn't make the changes then there wouldn't be a drift track for us to drift on. But they couldn't see that, but that's fine. That's my job to take the abuse for the decisions made. However, quite shortly afterwards then a BISU made a similar judgment,
and they also mentioned Driftland and the regulations which
they linked to the rules on our website, which then meant I started getting international hate.
Yeah, you pretty much killed Matsuri's as far as they were concerned.
Matsuri's, missiles. I had literally guys in Australia sending me messages, never met before in my life, tell me how much of a dick I am for ruining drifting for these guys.
Yeah, and if you want to be told at any moment that you're a dick, I will do that for you. That's no problem at all. So you guys, you don't need to, because it's already taken care of.
Well aware. It was so weird because Ibisu was referencing our stuff. Like, we based this pretty not loosely / very tightly on the Ibisu sort of model of a custom built drift track, big wall, lots of speed, and they knew we existed.
Yeah, they actually
not
knew.
Only that, they were following suit from
crazy.
A strip of tar laid in a field in Fife was influencing
like drift
these
mecca
Japanese
around the world.
Tracks. So I was like, what the hell? And then the realisation that I was going to get the blame for banning missiles worldwide sort of came, and I basically just had to switch my Facebook off for a couple of weeks.
Leave it for a week.
It was a write-off. It wasn't a particularly pleasant,
bad times for you.
It wasn't a pleasant time. But the decision that I had made in order to keep the business going,
I think
to keep having it.
I think the only reason that Driftland still exists as a venue for drifting is because you made that decision. I don't think it would now.
Yeah, if it did, it would be a banger style setup.
Yeah.
It would be, just the same group of 30 to 50 guys, just smashing stuff up for banner. The same 100 people come to watch. There would be no progression. We wouldn't have managed to attract the likes of BDC, because we didn't have BDC back in those days. It was all Knockhill, who are a big established racetrack that are only a couple of miles away from us. But because we managed to make some changes, we lifted the reputation of the track. We pulled it out of the gutter. We started to attract the nice cars again.
Do you think as a result, we would have quite a large contingent of successful British Drift Championship drivers, for example? It's like, if you want to be that...
Yeah, it's tricky because the missile driving, could bring you on leaps and bounds in competition style driving. And if you look at the top group in Drift Cup right now, for example, I guarantee you that half of them came from ovals and came from wall running, cheap car driving that style of driving, and those are the guys that are probably still in lesser cars now, but are kicking ass against the big budget builds because they have that seat time. But what we were trying to tell people is that seat time, you can still have that seat time, you just don't get so close that you crash, and if you do, go fix your car. Like,
do some basic stuff.
Twinning crashes are generally not particularly bad because you know what's sort of happening. You see the guys sprint in front, and then you just sort of nudge into each other.
The difference in speed should not be much. But what it was at the time was people coming into the S's as normally or something, and somebody would be like 30 yards away, would go, "I'm no braking, hop out, getting on your door." Absolutely naked to nobody. It was funny for a few minutes, but it soon got boring. And we made the decision. I took the lambasting for it. And I still think today that was the right decision to make. I fully agree.
We've went from strength to strength since then. We have seen a marked improvement in everybody's car presentation.
People look after their cars more, I would say. More and more people now are building bigger, better, crazier cars. So rather than just smashing through disposable cars 3-4 times a year, they're putting that money into one car and making that a better competitive car. And you can see from the Scottish Drift Championship, the level of driving that we're seeing in that now would never have been possible because these guys have got both the skill, the car and the skill, and the respect for the other driver in a battle as well.
Because it's not just about smashing into each other, leaving a tyre mark. Great.
That's fine, because you can smash into someone at the bash and it was a laugh. But you smash into the corner of someone, you're going to get a 0 for your run, and that's your competition.
Exactly.
So you can't do that type of driving.
And what we see now is people in their regular cars doing what we would have considered back in the day bash style driving, so that big trains, lots of proximity, and occasionally when somebody makes a mistake, there's a couple of little bumps here and there, but we see those same cars back the next week looking mint again. And it's just a tiny little bit of presentation, a little bit of having some spare parts or having access to some spare parts and a bit of paint, and you can have your car looking, as long as you're not deliberately smashing it off the wall, then there's nothing out there that will really bend your car too hard. We've seen all sorts, and we've seen some really big face first crashes into that wall, and the people still manage to get their cars back out on track by the end of the day. So there's no excuse if you've got 2-3 weeks at home to not tart up.
Not to just do what you have to do.
People did that, and it was all good. However, recently it's been the anniversary of the bash.
And thanks to the gift of Facebook memories, I think.
Time Hop and Facebook memories and Kevin McCluskey, there has been a lot.
There has been, hasn't there?
Of interest. I have been tagged in more posts than I care to mention. Get enough.
Hashtag BBTB.
Yeah, BT, bring back the bash. But it's not quite as simple as just bringing back the bash.
Nah.
As we've said earlier, we've already been through this situation where people have said they're going to come and haven't.
Yeah, that was similar to 2016. A lot of good, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because it'll be fine, I'll definitely get a car. And then you ran that gamble and it didn't pay off before.
And I tried to, I doubled down on my gamble and I brought Luke in, gave him a car, paid for his flights, his accommodation, all of his stuff over here, and it just made it double down worse.
Yeah, it made it twice as expensive.
Yeah. So from that point on, I was like, that's it, no more Bash. Bash is finished. However, economics have changed ever so slightly recently as well.
Yeah, there seems to be an availability again of low-priced rear-wheel drive cars, which you could almost call disposable.
Yes, so the IS200s, the E46 coupes and saloons, and also the E46 compacts, are all starting to get down into the sort of money where you could almost justify it only lasting 2 days.
Yeah, and I think you could get, if with enough rear tyre pressure, I think you'd get away with a 4-cylinder in some of these.
Definitely. For the Bash, it's, as long as you've got commitment and you're a decent driver already, then a 4-cylinder one will work just the same. So again, as you said, it's not just as easy as committing to another Bash. At Driftland, because of the unique way that our venue is set up and the fact that we share a venue as such, we don't just have unlimited weekends where we get access to the full site for the whole weekend.
Yeah, we are limited in the dates we can have and also the dates when we get given those dates.
Yeah, it's generally not till the first or second month in December where we can fully firm up our calendar for the following year. So will we do another Bash?
Will we? It seems like there's potential, is what I would say. However, we were in the same position in 2016 when it seemed like there was potential.
We basically need to know that you guys aren't gobshites.
Yeah.
And that you are actually going to come and drive at you are going to buy a car.
Yeah, are you realistically going to come? Would you realistically spend the money to buy and prepare the car and buy a weekend ticket and all the other costs associated with that? Think about the worst case scenarios, about fixing it, about not finding a car for £100, because that's probably not going to happen.
Unless you buy it now and gamble.
Maybe.
The amount of messages I've had over the last few weeks saying, is it going to be on? Because if it is, I'll go buy a car right now, but I need to know if it's going to be on. I'm like, but I don't know if it's going to be on.
I cannot tell you.
We can't commit it. It's the economics, I think, are correct. The venue for it is available.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's available yet, and we don't know if there is the demand, and that's the main thing. Our weekends are very valuable to us. We only get a select amount of them a year, and we need to make best use of those weekends. So like potentially, maybe. Tell us, let us know.
I know.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Would you come spectate? Would you come drive?
Yeah.
Who would you like to see driving here?
We need like 300 people to say because out of those, maybe like 100 of them actually might realistically think about it.
I'll be happy with 300 comments.
Yeah, 300. Go on, 300. That's what we want. But you know what I mean? It's like we need that 2014 levels to put on that show again that I think their spectators deserve, and that you guys will properly, if you did want to drive in it, they would properly enjoy, because 2016 levels with 40 drivers is no good.
It didn't work.
No.
You don't want to go out and be driving around there by yourself in a bit of a crappy car when you've got a good car at home that you could be driving.
Yeah.
You want to be in trains, you want to be in, and the only way to make these happen is to have way too many cars on track at once. You know, like we did 42 cars on track. I think it was the second Bash, and we literally, if you span out, you became a clipping point, and there wasn't a gap for you to get back into the train again.
You would have to maybe wait a couple of laps to just figure out if you could set off again, because someone was clipping you every time, and people were just touching you every time you came round just to say.
It was so good. That train was funny. Outrageous.
So funny.
Absolutely outrageous. So I would love to do that again. I'd love to try and break our record of 42 cars on track, but we need you guys to let us know. So I think we've probably been chatting for long enough.
I think that's probably enough Jeek and Ren time. I think so.
So if you've got this far, thank you very much for watching. If you're super excited about the Bash, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to do, who you would like to drive at the bash as well, because obviously if we do go for it, I'll have to get my list of people who are going to say maybe to me.
Get your little black book of disappointment out.
Yeah, my black book of maybes, and see who could maybe come and then not come in the end.
Yeah.
Do like, share, subscribe. Ren literally lives off these things. If he doesn't get a couple of subs every day,
it's literally the only thing. Like, I know you guys, we always say every video you watch these days on YouTube, let's go like, share, subscribe. But honestly, if you have the chance to subscribe, and even if you can tell a couple of people that you know, your friends that you hang out with, like, here, check this channel out. Maybe give it a little subscribe and show us that what we're doing is worth keeping up, then that is so appreciated. Yeah, and the more subs we get, then the more stupid stuff we can afford to do. You know, because yeah. Give us a sub. Jumps ain't cheap.
I think jumps ain't cheap. I think what we'll do is I've got a couple of little clips which I'm going to dig out of Chelsea Donofa and Luke Fink telling us about their visits here and why you should come and have a shot. So thank you very much for watching. I know this was another long one. If you like these styles of me and Ren sort of explaining behind the scenes stuff to you, let us know and we will make some more. So here is the clips of the guys and we'll see you next time.
Driftland's ridiculous. All the guys here in the UK, I don't care if you look down in London, stop being such a bitch. It's only like 8 hours. I'd fly from Australia again just to drive this place. So you don't realise what you've got here. It's as similar to Bisu of anything I've ever driven before. Even the drop-offs on the side, the walls, everything is extremely Jap style and track layout. Track side's perfect for drifting. You'd be mad not to come out here, no excuses. It's only a little drive up the road. Everyone here is nice. Come and scrape some walls and you won't get a better place to drive in the United Kingdom, full stop.
What's up guys, I'm Chelsea Donofa over here at Driftland. I had an absolute blast. It was 2 days of absolute mayhem. It's pretty much anything you want to do and don't want to do inside of a car. Smashing into all your friends, having a good time. All the contests were awesome and the hospitality and everyone was just amazing. I really appreciate it.